Is an autumn garden worth it? Some people don't think so, but in today's video we shall look at some of the reasons behind that. My name is Barry and this is our no-dig Norfolk garden. You know, when myself and Mrs. W first decided that we wanted to grow vegetables over the autumn and winter period, it didn't go that well in the beginning. It took us 2 or 3 seasons to learn a lot about how we can get the vegetables to harvest and come at the right time of year. Some of the comments that I get are, well, soil needs a rest. Actually, it doesn't need a rest. Your soil is ready to grow all of the time. Well, that's being no-dig, of course. The fertility is there. Most of the plants that you can see in this garden now are either second plantings or indeed, in some cases, third plantings of the year. Your soil wants to grow. And if you don't grow vegetables in it, it's going to grow something else. You also say you don't have the time. Well, in all honesty, when you're sowing the vegetables that you see in our garden now, you're sowing them at the same time that you're actually still sowing vegetables that will come to harvest during the summer period. It doesn't take too much longer to sow a few extra seed. You also say that I don't understand succession planting. Well, myself and Mrs. W can help you with that. I'll leave a link in the video description to take you to a playlist where we made 4 specific videos about succession planting earlier this year. There is also lots of resources on our channel like Sow With Us. If you go to that playlist, Sow With Us, you'll see exactly when we sowed the seed to the vegetables that you can see in our garden right here, right now, in November. Now, of course, it's far too late in the year to be able to sow anything and plant anything to get a harvest now. But there are things that you can be doing now if you want to try and have vegetables, fresh veg to eat next season. You can be making notes about the weather. What's the weather doing at this time of the year? One of the most noticeable things is that the sun is really low at this time of the year. And of course the days are much shorter, so they don't get as much light. You can be making notes of when the frost comes. And then you'll be far more up to date of when they're going to arrive. Yes, you can go online. I very often say we garden in zone 9A. And if you go onto the internet, it will tell you when your last average frost date will occur and also when the first one will occur. Having said that, each and every garden is different. I heard from somebody the other day, they live in Norfolk too, and they were saying, we garden in zone 9A, but we're expecting a frost this week. But actually myself and Mrs. W are not. When I look at the long range forecast, of course, I can see that it's going to be the following week when, yes, we will get down to about 0. Nothing too harsh. That could have a lot to do with the fact that we live midway between the fine city of Norwich and the coastal town of Great Yarmouth. Of course, when the breeze comes in off the coast, it keeps the temperatures just that little bit higher. Whereas somebody that's a bit closer to Norwich, but still growing in the same gardening zone, they could experience their first frost of the season over the next 3 or 4 days. But by making your own notes, like myself and Mrs. W have done over the years, ever since we moved to this property, we get a bit more of an idea of what our average is. The other really important thing is, and one thing I've really learned since we've been here, is the ideal location to actually plant your vegetables. If you're a regular viewer of our channel, you'll have probably realised by now that we garden on a slight slope. It's not a huge gradient, but it is a slight slope. Therefore, I have to be careful exactly where I plant any vegetables that I want to overwinter. Here in plot 2, this is the lowest point of the garden. And you can see there isn't really anything in here. We did actually put some elephant garlic in here a few videos back, didn't we?
We did, yes.
That doesn't mind the cold. In fact, the cold does it very good. The reason being why we don't plant anything in here and it being low is because cold air is heavier than warm air. That's why it sinks right down and your soil freezes. So if you have something that's growing that might freeze at about -1 or 2, not a great idea to put it in here. But what I can do is grow vegetables like the purple sprouting broccoli, the cabbages that will become ready for January and February, because they will go down to much lower temperatures, so they'll be unaffected. Whereas on this side of the garden, it could be a different day to what's happened over there. These are plots 1 and 4. Beetroot still in here. That's going to be harvested very, very soon. It will be harvested before the end of the month. But things like Calabrese broccoli, these are the last harvests of this for this season. They're not too keen if it gets really, really cold. So it's better that I grow them on this side. And actually, if you look at this, you can see just how much sunshine appears on this side of the garden compared to the other side. So location of your vegetables is key, and you have the rest of this year to actually observe your garden, make your notes where would be the best place to grow your autumn and winter vegetables. If you plant them in the highest part of your ground, those vegetables that might be affected by -1 or 2 or 3 frost, then they're going to do much better. Of course, if you have a raised bed situation, even better. Because the frost will continue, as I said, it's much heavier than warm air. It'll get right down to soil level. But when you've got a raised bed, it could remain just that little bit more warmer and the soil won't freeze. You can see here that this year, myself and Mrs. W, we decided to grow our autumn winter harvesting carrots in this veggie raised bed. And they've been really successful. But because it's this high, this is unlikely to freeze. And what we can do is to mulch over the soil in the winter months so that it doesn't freeze so much. And you can see that's exactly what myself and Mrs. W have done here. You can't see the tops of the carrots very well. And that will just keep this soil nice and soft. But of course, if it gets a really, really cold autumn and winter, we might need to use other materials to help us through. One of the things that you can use is fleece, or as some people know it, row cover. And there might be certain times of the year when myself and Mrs. W will replace the insect environmesh netting with this. In particular, I'm thinking of the carrots that Mrs. W still has in the ground that she didn't want me to take up. We actually grow our lettuce over the autumn and winter period in our undercover structures. We do that because we can, but there's no reason why you can't grow your lettuce outside. But If it gets much colder than a -3 or -4 centigrade, you want to be covering it with the fleece. And that will create what we call a microclimate. Underneath this, it will remain much warmer and the plants will be much more protected. Thus, those plants can survive all the way through the winter, and you'll be able to enjoy those small pickings that you get that are so valuable at this time of year. Of course, the other thing that you need to make sure you do is to select the correct varieties. It's no good trying to grow a variety of vegetable that's due to harvest during the summer months. It simply won't be hardy enough. In the greenhouse, myself and Mrs. W have some lettuce. The varieties are Arctic King and Winter Density, and they are winter hardy. They can also be grown outside. They don't need to be in the greenhouse. We just choose to grow them there because we have other things in the plots at this time of the year, and it enables us to get a good mix of what we can grow. It's no good us growing purple sprouting broccoli in there. It's going to be far too hot. They're not going to like it. They like the cold weather outside. So all of the plants that really need and like the cold weather, we ensure they're in the plots. But then once we take the tomatoes and everything out of the greenhouse and the polytunnel, we can put those plants in there. They'll be fine. They're unheated, so they are going to get quite cold. It's the same with these cauliflower. They are winter hardy. The frost will not particularly affect them unless it gets really, really cold, which of course it doesn't in our climate. Generally the worst we see here is a -6, occasionally down to -10. But it doesn't last for very long. We don't have frosts that are day after day after day after day. So selection is really, really quite important. Make sure that you find those varieties that say they are winter hardy. Of course, if you live in a really, really cold climate where it does get really cold, undercover structures are an ideal place to be able to grow your vegetables. They remain warmer than it is outside. And of course, if you do live in a really cold climate, you can always do the same thing that you did outside, which is to put fleece or row cover over them if you know it's going to be particularly cold. To utilise these spaces, it's one of the best things you can do. I've seen people over the years that just dig the soil over, or if they no dig like us, put their compost mulch over it, and that's it. Why would you not want to grow something else? It's doing nothing else over the winter period. You can see the many things that we can either harvest now or that will come to harvest over the coming months. So is it worth growing an autumn vegetable garden? Yes, it is. Look at all of this wonderful food that we have to eat. Some are harvesting now, some will harvest in the new year. We have lots to sustain us. Now do let us know in the comments, do you have an autumn vegetable garden and things that will harvest for you in winter too? Let us know what it is you are growing. And actually, if you like the idea of still being able to eat your fresh vegetables in the autumn and the winter, and there's nothing better than actually stepping out into the garden in winter, just like summer, and being able to harvest something really lovely, fresh and nutritious, then watch this video coming up next. They are our 10 top vegetables to grow for an autumn and winter harvest. Have a great gardening week. We shall see you next time.